ways to get into the land of the strong cookies. So, my friends. I did a video Saturday morning because my walking, talking live streams, they're fire. I'm telling you, they're fire. Like, my mind is just thinking about all sorts of stuff. And I think as more introverted people that are kind of just more agreeable and wanting to be nice, you kind of have to take ownership for your life and your thoughts and just smash down on people that want to tell you how to live, okay? And you know, it might be the silliest place that I get the inspiration for these things, but sometimes songs are just recommended to me and I forget about them. And I haven't really, okay, I like Billy Joel. I really do. I like his music. It's not like I don't listen to his music every single day, but I'll go through cycles of different songs I listen to. And I do like Billy Joel because I remember when I was a kid, like Uptown Girl was on MTV. And I remember that being one of the first videos I saw with him and Christy Brinkley. And it just really, visually, it had impact. And a lot of people that like hate on modern music, I don't think they realize how artistic it is actually, because a lot of videos in like the 70s, even before MTV and later in the 80s, they told a story. Like it was like a mini movie really. And I think people have continued on doing that with YouTube and now TikTok. And you can create art with both short like format and long format. And this is what I want in my life, and this is what I believe to be true. If somebody tells you something that's inspiring them and driving them, the litmus test for a strong cookie good friend that builds you up to the 120, because this is what we all want to be, and this is what I am to people. They love your ideas. They build you up. They don't want you to think like them, and they will applaud you when you don't think like them, because I don't know, I don't have tons of friends, but the friends I do have, I don't live exactly like them. I don't live their life. But we have certain core values where sometimes you rediscover the friend that, you know, is always in your court. That's going to be the person that wants you to do what makes you happy. They want you to live your best life ever. They're not wanting you to live exactly like them. They don't want you to like think like them exactly. They will applaud when you think differently. Hi, how you doing? And there's just some people in this world, they're not going to do that. In fact, they will balk the minute that you don't think exactly like they do. And it will be the people that claim to be so to be so pro-liberty, so free choice. They're going to be usually the people that don't really support people thinking differently than them. And I've seen this time and time again. It repeats itself periodically and frequently. You know, you will see this trend. These people that it'll always be something like, oh, I embrace liberty, or they might even do it in a political way, like civil liberties. They claim like they're libertarian, and I'm not saying all libertarian people are like this, but I've encountered this with a few libertarian people where they claim to be so big on personal liberty, but right now, like once again we have all these things that are happening in the world that are creating friction, division. I'm not into that, okay? And I do believe in like voting and being involved politically to some extent, but I don't like let's see. That's not what my channel is about. Bye. So anyway. Look, there are people, they don't get it. Like, they don't get that there are other people in the world, that we live in a world with other people. And I'm just at the point anymore that I'm never, hi Colette, how you going to do, caring about what libertarians think. Because the libertarians are the same people that are okay with, like, ICE creating havoc or just deporting people willy-nilly. And I'm not okay with that. Like, they are lying to you right now. Like, I know a lot of the Trumpers are like, oh, he's so great. But what has he done? He hasn't done anything. Like, he hasn't done any kind of stimulus program. He hasn't done any kind of program for the working people, regular people, middle class people. But he's going after people that do jobs that most Americans do not want to do. Like, they're going to workplaces. And these Republicans, like when I was a kid, I used to see them go to certain places and they would ask people that were undocumented to come work for them because they didn't want to pay Americans like more money. They wanted to pay a lot less money, but these are hardworking people and they were willing to do any job, and they were not breaking laws, by the way. They were not breaking laws at all. They might be honest about it, but they lie. Like in my country, a lot of them are lying right now because a lot of them utilized undocumented workers like so much, and now they're pretending to be against it. And I'm just seeing things happen in our communities where ICE is coming in and they're going to people's workplaces, and these are people that pay taxes, follow the law, and a lot of undocumented workers actually, statistically speaking, like break the law less than American citizens. Like, there are American citizens who commit crimes all the time that are born here, and that's one thing I don't really like. But we can't really change how things are going, I guess. And this is another thing too, is like they cut all these programs for Americans, right? Like, they want to cut Social Security, they want to cut SNAP, they want to cut a lot of these programs, but yet they want to put all this money into these ICE people. And then another questionable thing is the Trumps were against like the face masks. They were like, oh, people shouldn't wear face masks, they shouldn't cover their face. But now a lot of these ICE people, they're covering their face. And I don't go to protests. I'm not going to protest. I'm not about that life, because I don't think protesting is probably safe. Like, you have the freedom of speech in the US, but just all the different things I'm hearing, I don't think it's safe to go to protest. This is just my my thought on that. I don't think it's safe right now to go to any protests. Like, personally, I'm not a fan of what this administration is doing, but I do think it's very, very unsafe, unless you live like in a small city or something where people are civil. But in Riverside, a girl got hit, a car, and they're like, a car hit a woman. She's in a coma. Okay, there's a woman in a coma in Riverside because some guy hit her, and she was just practicing her civil liberties. And I don't know, there's just a lot of things going on right now, and I feel like they're using this to their advantage, right? What is the story about? I'm just talking about politics and things like that. So, I guess what the story about is, I just am so glad that a couple of years ago I was able to realize that just because you do like collaborations with people online, that could help grow your channel to some capacity. I'm glad that I stopped doing them, Hassan, just because I always didn't really like certain views that this person was putting out. And I totally get people who don't want to be involved politically at all. Like, I get that. But right now, like, they're really exploiting the situation, and they're acting like, oh, and these were people that 5 years ago were on this app, like on YouTube, talking about how they were very much small government. They wanted to leave people alone, but not one of them is going to speak out about like, oh, all the millions of dollars, like, that ICE is spending, like that they're spending on ICE, and how that's going bankrupt, and they're having all these people wearing masks and you don't even know who they are, and they're in unmarked cars. And I'm like, why are they covering? I don't know, just a lot of things that I've been seeing and hearing, because I don't think people are lying about this. Like, and I have seen some interesting things if you're a pedestrian, where of course, like, there's always people that nearly hit you in the street, but The other day I was trying to cross the street and there were these guys in this car and it had Texas plates and like they nearly hit me and I'm like, what is going on? That's kind of weird. Like I don't know what they were doing, but it didn't really seem to add up to me. But whatever, maybe it's just a whole bunch of bad drivers. Whatever. I'm just gonna say that I think there's a lot of friction right now online, on social media, and I don't like it. So you know what? It's probably better and smarter for your peace of mind to not engage with it. And I'm just glad I stopped doing it. Like it was a blessing to me that I extracted myself from that, because when I used to do a live stream with this like particular person that was very pro political, I think they just want people to follow their ideology. Like this is very important to that person that everybody like buy in to their ideology. And for me, it's best that I excuse myself from it. And it's funny because I excused myself from it a couple of years ago, but not for the reason that they thought I did at the time. It was just technically I had a lot of things going on where I needed to take care of my sister and I didn't have time for it right then. But it wasn't the reason. They thought it was something else. But I just, whatever. If they want to believe whatever they believe about the situation, that's fine. Sorry, my throat just gets kind of congested when I'm like talking really fast like that. But I'm glad you feel relaxed. But I just, it was just not fun situation for me. So I want to caution you, like if you're going to do collaborations where you do like any kind of YouTube with people, to be cautious about who it is. And if early on you're like, I don't really agree with a lot of their political ideas, especially when they're really pushy about it and they think everybody else needs to see the world as they do. Because right now, there might be I know that there's truly some libertarian people. They stick by their moral code where they would never vote for Trump, like a true libertarian or a true small government civil liberties person. Although I'm not really I don't believe in small government, honestly. Like I've always believed in like the Constitution and the three parties, of our government, three branches, and how and the balance of power. And I've always believed in that. And I think honestly, yeah, I'm not part of the libertarian dynamic, but at least there are some libertarians that they believe in everything they said. Like they are pro like no harm, doing no harm, okay? They're pro that. Like that's part of the libertarian principle, like to do no harm. Like they don't just go out and bomb countries for funsies. Like now the US is bombing Iran. Like, oh my gosh. Bad choice. Like what are we doing? We should not be doing that. And by the way, and this is another thing too, because they will rewrite, they will redo anything. No, I'm not tired from work. I'm just talking. Okay. They will rewrite and redo anything that they say to make it seem like, oh, they're better and that they see things better. But, and I don't even want to go into the specifics of why, but sometimes things just get recommended to you and I'm like, oh, why did that get recommended to me again? But I know why, because sometimes when you used to collaborate with someone and then I listen for a minute, I'm like, I don't even know why I'm listening to this, but I'm really glad that I don't do any collaborations with that person anymore, because they said something about how they thought eugenics can be good sometimes. And I'm like, oh, really? I'm glad I don't want to be associated with anybody who thinks that, or anybody who used to be pro small government, supposedly, allegedly, but doesn't seem to have a problem with all these ICE agents running around. Yeah, no. Or violating the Constitution and federalizing the National Guard, like when Gavin Newsom did not give his consent, just all these things that are happening. All these things are not, I don't know, but there's so many people, politics are bad. I'm going to be honest with you. They are bad because, it's good to be politically aware, But I don't want to be like connected to anybody like that who would it be okay saying things like that, or thinking that eugenics might be good sometimes, or thinking that it's okay to provoke a war in the Middle East because they are like pro Israel. And I never had a problem with Israel. I never did. But I don't think the response to a terrorist attack on October 7th was to bomb people to the ground. I don't think that was the right response. And the world community sees that too. And yes, if you're going and you're just bombing communities, that's a problem. Or to go into Lebanon and start bombing them. And here's the thing that they're never going to tell you. I'm not unrelaxed, dearie. I'm just talking about the news. No, why would my children tire me out, Hassan? I don't have kids. I'm not tired at all. I'm good. I'm just giving a talk about things going on in the news. So there's a lot of things just going on in the world because I read and I look at what's going on in the news that I just don't think are the good trajectory for our country. And a lot of people don't agree with what Trump is doing. And I think at this point, he does need to be impeached. In the past, I was like, I wasn't a fan of his first presidency. And I thought a lot of things he did were questionable. But back then, he actually listened to people. And he kind of was a little bit more, even though he was egregious, he was a little bit more contained. But I think that's because Mike Pence was around, okay? I think the minute that he decided to, not follow the letter of the law and, not support Mike Pence certifying the election was when things started going off the rails. But people voted for him again, okay? And I question, like, why did people vote for him again? Whatever. So we gave him a chance, right? A lot of people give him a chance, see what happens. Nothing good has happened in the last 6 months, and I'm not upset, and it's not that I'm not relaxed. All I'm saying is I just think there's a lot of not so good things happening politically right now that I can't imagine that there's people that think this is a great idea to go online and say that they support all these just really not good things. But hey, everybody has freedom of speech. All right, thank you. Everybody has freedom of speech to do what they want. They can do anything that they like, if they want to say things like that. But at the end of the day, I'm just so glad I'm not connected to somebody running a channel saying those things, because I think that's what they needed, though, because now they can be themselves. And I feel like that was the problem when I did collaborations in the past with people that had extremely conservative views compared to mine. I think I was holding them back from being them true self, or maybe they were just afraid to say some of the things. But a lot of the things that they thought, I don't know, and they said things to me too, it's not even worth mentioning again. But when I told other people this, they're like, nope, that's not okay. And supposedly this person was my friend, but no, they were never my friend. I think they just wanted people to support whatever it was. They want to be famous, okay? They want to, I don't know. Maybe they want to make a movie or something, but in a Trump world. There's a lot of people, for some reason, they really hate Hollywood. I'm going to tell you my reaction to Hollywood. I haven't really watched Hollywood movies in years. I watched the Barbie movie. It was okay. But that was the last time I went to a movie. I don't watch movies just because it's not that exciting. I sometimes would watch a Turkish show years ago, Magnificent Century, but after that, I just don't watch shows. I'm not that interested in movies. There haven't been any really, really good movies in a long time for me that just appealed to me. And I kind of got to the point in my life, if I watch something, I usually just watch a YouTube channel. That's what I like a little bit better. It's just watching things or different people on YouTube. So that's my preference, right? So yeah, I just see now the best thing that ever happened to me, and it could be with live streams, where you do collaborations. I already ate, but I'm just unloading the dishwasher. It could be that with live streams and collaborations, some of these will behoove you. But I think if you're going to do any kind of collaboration long term with someone, there needs to be certain parameters. And I think the first, like, really big parameter has to be, it needs to be a person that has pretty much... I'm very human. What does that mean? I don't know. Everybody's a human. Am I supposed to be a robot, like an AI robot? But thank you, I guess. This is my whole take on, like, collaborations. If you do collaborations, it needs to be with people that respect you, like, completely, that love what you have to say, who will go to the breaking point and back for you as a friend. And if somebody's not like that, then you can't do any kind of, like, real life friendship. And, you know, this kind of applies to people I've known in real life too, that just like in the past, I feel like some people are just users. And to be honest, I'm glad to be more of an introvert, because I don't have a high need for users. Like, people that use other people, like, to get something out of it, it just doesn't entice me highly. Like, some people just kind of don't think much about it. I just am like, nah. It kind of, like, and I can kind of see it, like, a mile away when people do stuff like that, or they don't have, like, a genuine intention. Like, I will see it for what it is pretty quick. And sometimes people don't like that. They don't like when you can see through. Because people say, oh, only a car salesman or a cell phone salesman will... Oh, thank you. That's nice of you to say. I appreciate you. I don't have a schedule, guys. Like, some people ask me before, they're like, what is your schedule? Like, I just do this when I have time and I have an inclination. Because that's when I have, like, because if it's live, like, it has to be, like, very spontaneous. And that's just always the way I've done my channel. Like, I just never thought about scheduling content, because there's so many things that are scheduled in life. Like, you have to schedule when you go to work, school, everything like that. So, like, for this, it's just my fun, like, unscheduled, you get it when you get it kind of thing. Like, you never know. It's a surprise in a box, really. It's a surprise. That's what it is. So I go live when I feel like going live. That's my best answer I could give you, I guess. Because I don't always feel like going live. It just depends on, like, when I feel like going live, I guess. Anyway, I guess I talked a lot about political stuff. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, I realize most people, they don't. Like, this is the thing about being maybe more sensitive. I think most people just don't care. Like, if they're willing to say things where they think that their worldview is the best one, the right one, and the only one. I mean, a lot of people think that. But if they actually have the audacity, like, to really push it, they're never going to feel like any kind of remorse if they make somebody just not want to talk to them ever again. Like, they just wouldn't feel remorse. But I do believe everything happens for a reason. I believe any kind of interaction you have with someone where it doesn't go well, I believe, but I didn't even talk about that. Did I talk about a man? I'm not talking about a man. I'm just talking about doing dishes. I don't understand. Like, if like, you don't even know what I'm doing sometimes. Like, I don't tell the YouTubes everything I'm doing, guys. I don't tell you everything I'm doing. You don't know what I do 24/7. So, I mean, I'm going to be single, but you don't know who I talk to, and you don't know who I interact with, and that's not what my channel is about. It's about my creativity here. It's not about talking about if I have a man or not. Definitely not. You know? It's funny. That's why everybody's on YouTube, to create and have fun and entertain. And that's my purpose here. Okay? You always find out who the real ones are. Like, the real ones who love your channel. You'll find out fast. I want people people love my channel for real reasons, not because they think that I'm here for some sort of reason. I'm here to entertain and have fun in the sun. That's all. But moral of the story is everything happens for a reason. Anytime something seems like, that doesn't seem like a good interaction, that's because God's protecting you, dearies. Because God knows, like, the people, he gives you a sense of like what people should be in your life. And anytime that you see like a pattern, like just you notice over time that's like a certain person doesn't respect you, or that, and you know, at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter if they don't respect you, because I don't even think it's personal, really. Like, sometimes, aren't my words boring? I don't understand. Like, why would I say, aren't my words boring? I don't understand what you're trying to say, Husan. Like, I never said your words were boring. I just said I don't know when I go by. It's funny. I like to have a sponge for cleaning pans, but since I put things in the dishwasher, but I will believe this for years. You still need to rinse and get most of the food off your dishes. Like, I know there's like some commercials that say you can put dishes in the dishwasher with food on them and all the food will come off. That's not completely 100% true, okay? Like, you still need to rinse your dishes, friends. And some people are like, oh, but I hate dishwashers. And I'm like, I like them though, because they sanitize things and you can put it all together. And I don't know, I still like the dishwasher. It has a purpose. I know some people really hate dishwashers, but if you have a house without one, like, yeah, you can do dishes by hand, but it just makes it more convenient, honestly. And your dishes will get cleaned in a dishwasher if you know what you're doing. That means you have to rinse the food off first, okay? And I love a dishwasher just because once you take them out, they're so shiny. And it gets your dishes shiny. It really does, if you know what you're doing. Thank you, thank you. My bowl runneth over with water that's going into the sink as I rinse out the cup. I'm glad I made a smoothie the other day. It made so much of it though. Like, I really made a whole bunch, and then I can eat on it for several days. That's the good thing about like making a smoothie in advance. I might make another smoothie later too, just because, yeah, I love having smoothies. You will be back now? Okay. Bye then. I don't know. I guess the song says he has to go somewhere. This is a towel, and it helps you clean your kitchen. Okay? Like, some people don't have enough towels, and it's better than paper towels, okay? I might use a dishwasher, but I hate paper towels just because, yeah, they're wasteful, and they don't absorb enough water and debris and food. Thanks for telling me that Shay, but I don't even know who you are. I would have to know you in real life for 5 years where I've met you and like you show yourself continuously to me. Like I think you're very sweet though. That's nice. It's hard for me to trust people though. Like I have to vet people. Like I have a big vetting process now with people where like yeah, I'm just especially since I'm an introvert, but even more so than in the past, like my vetting criteria has gone up a lot. Like I will be nice to people online and everything, but first off, it's only people I know in real life through natural ways of just like interacting with them. And then if I were to ever date someone, it's a big vet. Like I have to really like I put you through 20 hoops to figure out if I even should be talking to you or not. You know what I'm saying? Like in the real life people that I meet. You just have to be careful because I believe in like a healthy, like kind of introverted lifestyle. A lot of people don't believe in that. So, yeah, I vet and then maybe I trust if over time, you know, but I'm sure you're a nice guy. I'm sure you're a nice guy. I just don't know you, but you don't even know me. Like, I'm just saying, the guys, like, yeah, don't know me. But I'm glad you like to watch my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.